Okay, so I think it's started. Yeah, started. And let me see. Mhm. Entire window. Yeah. Okay, I think my screen is visible to you all. Okay, and yeah, this is the server. So yesterday we have done that installation part and some little bit about that how to configure server and enabling the features. Okay. Now today we are going to see that the stats of databases. What are the stats of databases basically? So let's start from here. Management Studio. This SMS. So have you started practical session? Basically started practical session on that installation part, or it is pending?
You have installed SQL Server. Who's that
Hmm.
SSMS? I have not installed.
Okay. So I think okay. So I will check the data stats and then we try to install named instance also. Okay. How can we proceed for that without impacting our production environment? Okay. Getting down that one. Okay. So here's databases. Okay. Now for new query and
So yesterday when you are showing the login, right, I
mhm,
see there are more options while authentication. Windows, then SQL Server,
mhm.
Microsoft Entra, MFA, password
Yeah. See,
integrated
I
service
think I've
principal.
already informed about that. Let's see here. First thing. This is for window authentication. The user have access on this window can by default connect to the databases. Okay,
Mm,
this is SQL account. So
mm.
if we create a SQL account, SQL user can log in. Okay, but in mixed mode, user are window authenticated or SQL, we can connect with the SQL server. This is for Azure databases and directory. So Azure data, how can you connect that? We have a MFA, sorry, MFA, that is multi-factor authentication. So we have a mobile application. Then we have to pass that code and then our password. So there are two type of password we have to pass: a passcode and normal password basically. This is for AD account. If there are AD account on Azure databases, then AD account and password directly. Or this is integrated with Azure. So on Azure, you can directly, if you have Azure account, you can directly connect with that databases. Nothing else.
I see service principal, manage INT. This other thing. There are further few more.
So I think that is for I think Azure basically they have
Mm,
enabled that feature. But basically by default we get this five one.
okay.
Previously we have
Okay.
that window authentication, SQL authentication 2002. So 2012 basically. After we Azure introduced, they have added multi-factor and then password and integrated one. So this is a five option here. So for these three for Azure databases only. Okay, Azure environment, SaaS or PaaS or IS basically, not for in-premise or all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's paste this query basically. So in this we are seeing that database name and the recovery
Where to
model
get
and all.
that link for SQL Server Management Studio?
Yeah, we can directly download, or if we have an exe file, let
Acha, there will
me.
be a separate exe for that.
Yes, we have to download the
Okay.
separate exe. I can show you that one desktop here. So I've already downloaded this, but if you click this one,
Hmm.
setup file, we got a link here, but basically a hint like installation part. So see,
Management
install
tools. Huh?
SQL
Hmm.
Menu Studio. So if you click that directly to that web page, see here, Google,
Hmm.
and then we can download that one. We can add this. This is going for a add, close. So there is one tab. See here, free download Management Studio 19.3 version. So if you click here, it will ask for download basically. See, download
Okay.
this one, 646 MB. You can cancel not because we have already downloaded. Because I will see you show you all this basically SSDT and reporting services. We have to download report server also here from here. Okay, so next step is after this database and query steps, we go for the reporting service installation and all. Hmm. So we are checking here basically online stats. Basically, all database is online. Okay, but we have a too many database stats basically. Go to the presentation. I can show you all the stats basically. What are they? So there are different type of database stats like online. Online means it is database available for read write operations. Okay, so we can if data is online, we can read that data and manipulate the databases using query and GUI side. Okay, offline means data is offline, so it is not accessible. User can not make a connection on that databases. So how it looks like, we can see here like just databases. Okay, right click and tasks, and then we take offline. So if we make this offline, this is not accessible. So we can disconnect all the activity and see this is offline. So now we can refresh this query or execute reagain. We can see that database is offline. See. So this is basically if the database is not in use for longer time, or we are going to just drop this databases. Basically, the part of server consolidation, we will take a backup of databases and keep it offline for next couple of days. Before after confirmation for application team or application manager, we can drop these databases. Basically, this is a part of reviewing the databases. So we take a backup and then make it offline and wait for couple of days. Next is recovering. Recovering means that it is reading some data automatically get online, but basically it is reading the MDF files or log files, data is making it consistent mode, and then it will come online. Means when we're going to restore any databases, backup databases, it will in recovery, sorry, recovering data files, and then it will come online. If you committed all the logs back to back and database in consistent mode, then it will automatically come online, and then you can connect databases and perform the activities. Next is recovery pending. This is databases. State means the database has encountered some resources error. Means it is not reading the data files or log files. Something missing files. We can say that it may be data file corrupted or log file corrupted. So data is pending recovery. So it will trying to recover and uh, taking all the data, making this consistent mode, but it is not making not getting the data. Then it will show you the recovery is pending. Suspect mode means that unable to connect an user. It is happened due to that we can say that sometimes the drive is getting full. Okay, and that we are not able to write a data. We are inserting some more data, and partially we have done, partially not done, then data has got in suspected mode. So we have to just check that databases space, and then we can make it online using that query, repair with data loss or without loss, and we can make this database online. Alter database name, we have a command to make it online. Then it's restoring. When we are restoring the full differential and log back to back, so there's a mode for restoring. We can keep the data as restoring mode, and then we implement differential and then log. So after restoring the log, it will remove that restoring to the online mode. So we can see in the backup and recovery how it shows. Okay, next is emergency mode. So this is a part of this, we cannot see that, but we can make that in emergency mode by modifying that log file. Okay, and this is for when we data got in suspect mode, then there's a process in which we use a command to make data uh, emergency mode and then single user mode to make that database up and running basically. So this is a user defined role basically, stats. We use that to make the database online when database is in suspect mode basically. So there is a system admin permission required for perform this activity only. Okay, so these are the changes we made by using the sysadmin only, not a database reader or or database owner. So these are the seven, I think, yeah, seven database stats. Yeah, like this, we have a query stats. So we have to see that when query is in running mode, suspended mode, runnable, sleeping, background, or pending. So when we connect to the databases and we are not, we have just pasted the query basically, we can say that. So the session is showing is running basically, but it is runnable means that is waiting for some resources, and processor means worker is not assigned to that session basically, we can say that. Okay, and sleeping means our work is done, we have still connected to the databases. So this transaction we have done our activity basically. Here I can show you, we have executed this query, this is done totally. So if we want to see this, it will show in basically sp, we can see simply here too. Okay, or yeah, so my id is, see, you can see that id is where is the id is, yeah, 57, or we can see here this is the 57 id. So we can find here the 57, sorry, 57 id sid, we can say that it is showing in sleeping mode is set, it is showing waiting for command. Let me execute and okay, and now refresh. It will go in after some time in sleeping mode. Okay, still it is, so I see here. Okay, see that this is sleeping mode, state of databases. So these are the connection on the databases. It will execute their query and not doing any current activities. Database name is master, so we connected on the master databases. If we change the database name, it will show different name. Let's see, we are firing this on temp db basically. Okay, now see here the database name also change here, temp db. So these are the database, sorry, query stats basically.
So when you run this on the master, it will show all the sessions for all the databases.
Yes, yes, all the sessions. Basically, master is a databases which monitoring all the server level activities or user database level activity. Whatever you are performing, now it is monitoring all the transactions. So any master databases procedure we can fire anywhere. Okay, this SP2, that is we can fire anywhere, any data user databases. We get the same output. See, we can fire on model. Let's see, same output because it's a global stored procedure basically. So we'll see deep in monitoring basically what are the host name, how can you, there's too many DMVs. Okay, so for seeing these connections, we have also, we can make a join from that connections and sessions. Then we can also find select start from sys dot sys sys dot, sorry, dm underscore exe connections. Okay, so what are the connection made here? 51, 52, 53. You can see that this is shared memory locally to connect the TCP/IP protocol, false encryption point. Okay, and then we get the IP addresses. This is basically local. Okay, and then we have also a request. Okay, select star from sys dot dm underscore exe requests. So we can get same output like that. SPID, background status. See here, command. We can more detail here like wait type. Okay, and then we have a percentage completion, CPU time, elapsed time. Okay, read write, logical read write. So this is a part of monitoring and performance tuning. Very frequently we can use that, this DMB and this for monitoring purpose very frequently. How it is, what are the type of queries running, how many connections on a database servers. So we can check that one. So any question on database stat and query stat?
No, we just need to see how on
Yeah.
a
So in deep,
practical
we can see in monitoring,
yeah.
basic monitoring. We can where to find blocking, deadlocks. We can see that all. This is just intro about that stats of databases and query stats. So these are the six query stats and seven database stats only.
So these are the stages of a session, है ना?
Yes, session we can say that we can make a session. First, we make a connection. When you're landing on the SQL server, na, we make a connection on SNI. SNI distribute in a session connection in converting to session. Session have many requests basically. Okay, means I have made a connection from application using XYZ uh, user. Okay, so user landing on the SNI SQL Server network interface, and then it will make one session but multiple requests basically. It is doing many like that we can say that here I make a connection from local user window authentication, but I have many requests on that system. See here 57. Okay, so 57 is session ID. Where is that one? 56, 57. This is a 57, so we can find, let's see, we can, this is a request ID, request 57 is where? Not showing here. Session. This is request ID. Okay, so this is connection. Where connection ID equal to what is that one? 51 or 50 running. This is the first one. Okay. Hmm. Da, 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 da. So SPID request ID is 0 here. No request. So this is a 57. Okay, this is SPID only. And not showing here that request ID basically. Why? This is the connection ID basically 57. So you can pass here 57. Da, 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 da. It's not getting that. What is this conversion? Characteristic. Sorry, doing something wrong. No,
Maybe you need to run this on master.
no. It is saying here the session ID is here. Okay, so connection ID is not. I think created here. I think not showing here basically. We can see in session. See the session ID is 57. Okay, so recently connected this one. Okay, but it not showing. Okay, how can we find that basically? We have to make a join basically to get that one also. I think this connection ID. See, this is like okay, so that we have to pass that. Okay, this is a connection ID. This is encrypted one. Okay, so basically we can find it. We will just pass this session as a connection ID. When we make a join that connects connection and session, then we can get it. But by default we get all this thing here. Okay, and we can check that this is a summarize of all this basically command database name blocked by host name login and state and SPID. So this is the main thing. Or we have also a CPU utilization. Okay, okay, so SP we can check that only or that also in that how CPU is going high or not, or we can also check that report from here basically. If you're not compatible with the command, so we can check from that dashboard server. There are too many dashboards for monitoring part, so we can check database health configuration dashboards, active cursors, block transactions, all sessions, top sessions, like top connections. We can check from here also, but this is a DMB we can get here and we can check very frequently. We can use that one and we can this one is very helpful. Basically, we can get all the detail like elapsed time and CPU utilization here. See, and read write logic. See this one. One, two, three. Sorry, total elapsed time, CPU time, read write, logical read write. We can get from here. So we just pass here that session ID here in the request, and then we get detail about that session only. Okay. Why? Oh, session ID. Sorry. Session ID. Mm-hmm. In by Y.
Spelling.
That. Yeah. See. So this is already completed. So we are not getting if this is active, we can get all the details.
Yeah, use 51. That is the current connection.
See. So you can get the query handler also for performance string part with queries. Okay, so query handler we can check that for query plan and all. Plan handler here. So they are making join for that getting a plan and all. So we can get many things from here. This DMB basically for see wait type. So this is for memory allocation extension. This is for auto memory only. Okay. Has and query has is here. Okay, statement. So this is very helpful DMB basically. Sys.exe request. Okay, and this store procedure basically for monitoring point of view. So we are okay. So this is only seven database stats and 6 query stats. Okay. Now going forward on that users and we can say that managing the users and creating roles. So in security, we have see that there are logins and users basically in security tab. So here logins we create on server level basically, okay, and users created on database level. So only user cannot log in to the data because the flow of connecting is that we need to access on database server first and then sorry database server and then databases. So make this online first. Let me try. Okay, bring this online. So first we have to just create here logins, new logins. So this is for SQL and window. Okay, both we can connect here. If we want to provide a access to a window authentication user, we just search here in entire domain. Okay, whatever we are domain now, we can just go here and just search the domain name and then select that and we can search here the username and map that. Okay, but we are in local security or local group, so we don't have a domain, so we can just need to create a user on the Windows account and then you can pass here. But the SQL account, just we have to select SQL here and then pass name like uh, demo user. Okay, and keeping that password same. So, okay, there what the password enforcement policies. If you want to force the policies, then we have to check or uncheck. Okay, so use must password at next time means we not need change password next time because this is for testing. Okay, password expiration password policy force means the password providing me more than 8 character or encrypted or mixed mode or we can say that using a special character. So these are password policies. Before that before 2008 I think this is not here. We have just used that local Windows policies and all. Okay, so we are not forcing all these things. We are not using any certificate to log in that default databases. So basically for user databases we select that user database here because that user need to work on this user database. By default he will connect that use databases and work. Okay, so by default we keep that user databases not system databases. Okay, so this window shows us how can we create, how can we map the databases. Next is the server role. So basically end user for end user we are not going to this tab for providing any server roles basically. Okay, these are our server roles. We see that bulk admin, DB creator, disk admin, process admin, security admin, server admin, setup admin, and sys admin. The sys admin is super admin. We can say that bulk admin means the user can perform any bulk operation on the database server. Okay. DB creator, that guy have permission to provide access or create a database just only. Disk admin, that is have a access right to create a file and backup file database files. Process admin can monitor and manage that database processes or kill the sessions. We can say that security admin, that user can create a logins on the server. Server admin can take a backup and manage that server instances. Setup admin can add features and remove features, and sysadmin can perform each and every activity on the server. Okay, this is a super user, we can say that. But we have to focus on this here, user mapping basically. So user mapping, for that, we are going to provide a access and end user on user databases. So if you just select that user databases, then we have a permission here. If we are providing that access only to access the databases, provide access. Backup operator means that will use as a different backup user roles. And DB reader can read a data. Sorry, data reader can read a data. Writer can write a data, not modify and write a data. DDL admin can perform DDL activities. Deny reader, deny writer, and DB owner can perform each and every activities on the database, means can destroy the database also. Okay, and this is a security admin which can provide that access to the databases to end user. So these are database by default roles which we can map, but we can also customize that. We can say that user defined roles, we can create that one also. And next is secureable. This is very useful. Very frequently it is required in production environment. Let's an example that if an end user asks for simple execute on procedure like SP underscore reports. So we have just provide that user to that execute that procedure only. Just we have to go to the secureable. Just we have to search that object here. Okay, all object or specify object if you know that name, and then we can search here, and then we have to we can say that provided permission inside, but we don't have any procedure, so it not we are not able to see here, not able to find here. Okay, we can create and then we can see that how can we provide this. We can get here executor or modifier, we can say that like, and we have to just grant or deny that permission. And stats, if user not able to log in data, we can check from here, this is logged out, or we can say that disable. There are two mode. Okay, disable and sorry, two states basically, disable and logged out. Okay, if the user is logged out, then it will not able to connect the SQL server, so we can check from the stats of the user. Okay, so any question on this window, logins?
So once we
Login,
Yeah,
logins and users are same or is it different?
logins and users are different. Logins on server level, user is on database level. So when we create an logins, that is on server level. If you are not mapping that user, there is no user on databases. See, I'm just creating this data. Sorry, I'm just creating this user, not mapping anywhere. Okay, let's see. So this is created here. Okay, and I have mapped for this, but I have not provided that permission to read that one. See, this is created only. This is user.
so
Okay.
is it a instance level user?
No, logins is instance level, or user is on database level. If you map that databases, it will go to the database user. Okay, let's an
Okay.
example. I have created this one, na? Let's drop this one.
So if for a normal user, we can directly create a user on the DB, right? Is there a need to create a login on the server first?
Yes, login, because there's a connection flow that first you are lining to the server, that is SNI. So SNI, how know where you are going before logging? So we have to just log into the database server, this server, and then you have to just connect to the databases.
So login is on
Let
the instance level.
Yes, login is instance level, or user is a database level role.
Okay.
So if it
So
is a
just
Windows authentication, so first we
mhm,
need to create a Windows user at server
yes,
level and then a login at instance level
mhm,
and
yes,
then a database user. So the
yes.
three users are required.
Yeah, yeah. This is a flow basically, creating a user or mapping a user. We can say that. Let's say another example. Basically, this is window, not a window account. Okay, sorry, domain account. So let's check that
So if
from.
it is a
Mhm.
if it is a SQL Server authentication account, so there won't be any server account. There will be only an instance account, right?
Yes.
Okay.
SQL account is instance account, not a window account. So you have first we have to log into. If you are going to connect with the same server, we just take an RDP and then you can connect. But a SQL account we can use any from anywhere. Basically, if you have access, you can use SSMS. Call that server name and your user ID and password. SQL account.
And if it is a Windows authentication account, first the Windows admin will create a domain account. Then we
Yes.
need to create a login at instance level and then the database user.
Yes. Let's see. I can just disconnect this one. Okay. This is a normal your SQL server SSMS. Okay. Now let's see. We have an example. We have to just. I am a SQL user. Okay. I don't have access on the Windows server. Okay. I don't have a Windows login. Okay. So I will try to connect XYZ server using my SQL account. Okay. So I have a SQL account at SA and I have a password. So I can connect like this. Got my point? Or I can just disconnect this one. Let's set an example, another example. So
So SA
this is my
is your
laptop.
login. SA is your login.
Yes, login. So this is my laptop and
Mm.
database server in a data center. Let's an example. Okay, XYZ data center. I have to connect my database server to work some activity, perform some activity. So I'm just open my SSMS first. Here, this is SSMS. And now we'll get this pop-up. So this is selecting by default the server name, okay, because it's in locally, okay. So if I know the server name and IP, you can pass here. Then we select the SQL authentication. Then we can pass our SQL logins name and then our password. So we are connecting here using our SQL logins, not window account or window authentication mode. Okay, that is not using window logins basically. Okay, so I have a user ID and password, so we can connect this system. See, if we are in a domain, simple example, my laptop in a domain, XYZ domain, okay, and the data center is inside in premise or in our domain, okay, that is mapped to the domain. So we can just go to database engine, connect the server name, select the window authentication, and see we do not need to pass any user account and password because it automatically detected this is in domain. So detect that domain name and the username, and your window authentication password will use that to connect this SQL server. This is a two-way. And for Azure, if you have Azure databases, just you know that, then you have to just pass this thing. Then your user ID here, user account, and then it will go for the next. And then you have to just pass that phone. You have just, I think, a multi-factor code, and then your passphrase, basically. That's the way to connect. Any confusion, please let me know. We can see a different example to connect
Yeah, you,
databases.
if you can show like if you are getting a request from an application team that
Mm-hmm.
I need a access on so and so SQL server and
Mm-hmm.
I need the reader role.
DB reader. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Tick. That
what
is a
all?
SQL user. That is
Yeah,
a SQL
yeah,
user.
SQL users.
Okay. So
SQL
I
or
am at.
I mean, yeah, my question is, let's say all all users are coming from Active Directory. So like let's say is a Windows account. So do once he select the Windows, he don't need to do the give the password everything. So still we need to
Yes.
create the logins at the SQL like what as an
Yes.
admin we need to do if you're getting a request,
Mm-hmm.
create a new user on this database server with a reader role for application team.
Okay.
Mm,
So I'm writing. My request is uh, Windows user need, sorry, DB reader role. Okay, reader permission. This is okay, role
mm,
permission.
mm,
Okay. So I'm a DBA. Okay, I'm just
mm,
connected to my database server with my account as being a system admin. Okay, go to the security, logins, right click on the logins, create new logins, and we have to select window authentication. Then we have to
mm,
just search. In search,
mm,
if you get this is a local system, just we have to
mm.
just find a domain name here. Okay, that behind, sorry, here we can get the domain name, all the nested
Mm.
forest, we can say domain in
Okay,
subdomain,
I
whatever.
I got that. You can take any SQL server, SQL login instead of Windows, so that is fine. You can create any name
Okay, so okay, this
XYZ.
is name, and then
Uh,
we can find, we if you know the name of the user, we can just type
mm,
some
mm,
and check that name. Okay, if do not
right.
know, then we can just we can go to the advanced, and then we can start finding that user. So whatever the group or user on that domain, na,
Mm,
we get
mm,
the list here.
mm,
See, here is the host name, but we get the domain name. Okay, and we can select that. So here is something different account. We can say local account. Uh, dial up everyone. No. See, this is admin. Okay, this is
mm,
a local account. Okay, I can select that admin. Okay,
mm.
this is selected. This is a domain name. We can say that this is domain name and this is a username. Okay, now we can hit OK here. Next, on which database we have to provide that read permission. Okay, so we have to select the by default database is the user database. Next, go to the directly user mapping. Okay, and then select the database name. This is database name. You can select that by default is getting that username, and the default schema means this is a DBO only. Okay, in SQL Server, this is a DBO is a default schema. Okay, so we are not going to pass in the schema name. If there's multiple schema, then you can pass that one. Okay, now we need DB reader. So see this is a data reader. Okay, it can only perform the read operation. I can show you how can it work. Already exists because this is a system admin. Okay, so by default is added. I can drop that user first. Ta, 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 ta. Remove this one. Where is the delete? No, because
You can take
currently
any
in use.
SQL user, create a new user, demo
This
user
is in,
one or
basically
two.
this is in use. So may I show you? This
Mm.
is in use here. Okay, let me disconnect that one. This is in use
I think
because I have to create.
You already connected from the same user, right?
No,
Administrator.
I'm disconnected right now. Disconnected. It will not impact. Oh, why?
You are
No, not
currently
log.
logged in.
Yeah, you are connected with this user, no?
On the top, it is showing SQL queries dot SQL master. Your session is connected right with that.
Yes.
And if you will disable this account, then you will
No.
won't be able to connect to SQL Server
Yes. Yes. Yes.
because this is the
Mm,
only account we have to connect.
yeah. Okay. No, because we can connect with the SQL account basically. We can let map, but I
So
can
first
just
you maybe you connect with SA account and then delete this administrator.
yes. That's I'm trying basically. Let's refresh that one. Let disconnect. Connect with SQL account. That will also work. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Okay. Now I am just dropping this user, and then we can map later. This is owner basically. We have already added the systems setting basically, na? That's why. Okay. We have added installation time, na? That's why it is
Mm.
getting an error. Okay. Let's create an user basically. Window. Ta, ta, ta. Where is that one? Task manager. User and logins. Mm-mm. Server computer management. I think yes. So let's create an user for testing purpose. Okay. Demo and just passing this password by default. Okay. Not doing anything. Just any user. Okay. Password policy. Uh-oh. So demo 1234 at the rate 1234. It is saying length. What is the length? 8 character more than 8 character. No?
Keep some uppercase also there.
Yeah, I think this is setting, but by default, da, 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 demo at the rate 2024. No, not matching the length. I think they have kept more than 10. I think. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at the rate demo. So matching. Ah, very tough. Not bad. Ah, does not meet the policy requirement. What is the policy? Caps, one capital. Now it is good. Uh-oh.
Try making it 20 characters.
This is not in domain basically, na? What is taking policy basically? Domain policy. We can change that also, but we are not going
Maybe
to.
it might have some local policy.
Okay. We have special character, capital, small, numeric.
It is saying actually minimum length. You know,
Yes.
check the
Why?
minimum length. So maybe do it 20 characters.
Yeah, I can.
Start with a character instead of number.
Let's change the group policy. Uh,
0 character.
Minimum is character length. So it is taking basically. I can disable this one. What is minimum days is length? Length is 0 character. I can fix, or let's see, 8 character. Okay. Now we have to pass that GPU update. Now I can pass demo at the rate 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Okay, so I have a window account, and now SQL is SQL here. So as per requirement, we are going to map a domain account. Let's see here, demo. We can check here. See the domain name and username. Then map the database name, user mapping here, database name, and sorry, DB reader. Okay, so see, it is connected. Okay, when we log off the system and then we connect with that user, that user can able to connect that database with read only mode, but we have to log off the system. But I'm not going to log off this system. This is a procedure I have shown here. But for read permission, we are going to create on SQL logins. Okay, and show you how uh, DB reader. Okay, SQL account, same password. Okay, user database. Then we have a user mapping, user database, and DB reader. Done. Now I'm going to connect SQL Server using SQL user authentication and then connect. Okay, this is connected. Now we provide database user to read this database. Okay, just read. Okay, now we don't have any user table. So now let's see an example. We have to just create a one table here. Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Now the SQL. Let's see one table here. Copy, done, and insert some data inside that. DB. Okay. Oh, sorry. Name. Okay, okay. I think it will take like this also. Yeah, it's okay. So I'm testing here read permission. Now these user have only read permission. Let's select. Okay, I'm just going to insert data from here for testing purpose. Means these users should not able to write data. This is DB reader user. See, insert permission was denied on this database objects. So this user can read only data. This is an
But
example.
okay, this is a user login we have created. So he will be able to access the entire database, including the master as well, right?
Yeah, master.
So if
Master
we
can
want,
even.
yeah, if let's say there are 10 databases in SQL Server,
Mhm,
and one
mhm.
of the application user, we need to restrict the access only on one database. DB reader.
So yeah, for user databases, it will use that simple user data that it is per permission. Other data is will not. We can say that it will not can touch that databases basically. The
Okay,
user.
so how can we do that? Uh,
Yeah, that's an example.
if we give a Windows authentication user and along with that restricted DB user only on one database.
Okay. So in that, I think is public. So by default, user get public now. It will go with connect with all the this
No, but
database.
you, while creating the login, we have given the DB as data file only, right? We have not given any other databases. So it should not access any other
See
database.
this role now. We will just modify this role. But what is by default public now? It will connect with the database instance, and then this is
No,
a
so Sailesh, are you saying with this account, DB reader,
Mhm.
he can access the other DBs also apart from data file?
No, no, not access. It will show here all the data you'll able to see, but not able to connect to the databases. I can create a database here. Let's see. I can show the live basically. Let's have this is demo, not demo. Okay, demo databases. Okay, sorry. I think it will different account. So refresh, create a database, new database, and then demo. This is by going by default. Okay, what happened? Okay, already exists demo. Okay, the same path. Okay, we have just detached now. To demo one. See, this is done. Okay, so this is a user data is created for read permission. Okay, it is showing here because it's connected on the instance, logging created on the instance level. So you cannot extract this databases. See, not have permission. Get this pop up.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, you have provided the database name as well while creating DB user, DB reader.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
you have given that.
So
Okay, fine.
basically,
And if you remove that public, then he'll not be able to see also this
no,
thing.
by default, we when we create na
Hmm.
logins create a public access. Okay, see like that. I am not providing any access to any user. See, I am just creating one test user. Okay, test
Hmm.
user, that is a SQL user. Okay, and same password. Let's see. I'm not doing anything. Okay, but it created by default on master. Okay, I'm not selecting any database. It's the default.
Hmm.
So every user can connect on the master basically, but will not perform any activity. So I'm not providing any permission. See here, not server or not user mapping. Okay, just see. This is done. Now I'm going to connect this user using that test user. It will connect with the databases. See, but not perform an activity. But it is connected to the master only. See, this is basically a drawback of we can say that a SQL server because it is by default public.
It should
Public
not
means you
actually,
can
it
connect.
should not actually allowed to create a database user in the master.
Yes, yes, that's why. So that is by default is go on the public. By default is connect to the master, but will not perform an activity basically. Okay, but some
That is fine
procedure.
then.
Yes, that
It's not able
that
to
can
see anything, then it is fine.
yes, yes, not see anything. But this is a drawback basically. But I think some procedure is introduced. We can just check that procedure to enable that we can say that what is this? Mapping that user from that master basically sticking from but it is not using anything. See, you cannot execute that one any.
So once
See,
you create that, so anything at database user level also created. Can you check there?
no, no. See, I've created one test user, so it will show in master only.
No, or the other user which you created before.
Go for the DB reader which you have created, right? One more.
That user and check in data file database. Any thing created
Okay,
in
so
security here.
okay, so I have created two users, test user and demo user, I think. DB reader user.
DB
Okay.
reader. Hmm.
Okay. So you mean to say this user is showing in user database or not?
Yes, sir.
Or okay. So this user have permission on data file, so it will be there. Okay. See here. But rest not. This user is not here because we have not provide permission here. If
So
you provide permission,
while creating the login itself, we are mapping that user is to be mapped for which database,
yes,
and
yes,
and the access and roles, everything.
yes, yes. There's a basically there's a step. First we have to create logins, then we have to map the database, then we have to map that user permission. These are three
Hmm.
stages.
Okay.
If you only create the day user, it will only log in the database only, but not performing any activities.
Okay.
You
No,
can
when
you
we are
can
creating
confirm.
a login by default, at least it is mapped to master, right? It will work, but only it will work to the master, but without any
Yes,
role.
yes, yes, without any role.
What does that public means, which is by default? What it can do
Public means that you are able, this database is
to connect,
publicly, you can connect bus. You can
but
connect and see.
you cannot do anything on any database
Yes,
because you are
nothing.
not mapped to any database.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So see
So,
this user, test data user no any data is mapped. Okay. So
Hmm.
it is not using any database sheet here. See, but Khali only it can check that master database, not on model also. See, if I connect here,
But it
see,
can do anything in the master
no, not read write. See, let's an example. We can connect
because
here.
you have not given any role there, right? Not even a read role.
Yeah, let's an example to create. Sorry, I'm going to just create this
This
user
date or
variable.
something you can put that.
Yeah, select also we can use just select date and time. But let's see an example.
Run any select statement whether he is able to do anything.
Select. Sorry, get time. I can. I think it will get date and time. No, not checking. Select get date. And this is no. It's invalid. I think so. Select a star from this dot databases. Let's see a database files. Yeah, it can read master database only.
just
But
go
we have
and
not.
see the role which what we have given. Is there any default role granted to that?
Because basically this is public. This is very mystery for that SQL server. Basically, many times come this call in the interview. Basically, question. See, this is our test user. Okay, we just created this user here. This is login details. By default is master. Okay,
Go
if
to
you
server
want,
role. Go to server role. What is the role that is given?
this is public. By default, public. You cannot enable disable this one.
And what is the
This is hard.
definition of this public? What all it contains?
Public server role means that it contains to connect with that master database basically, and let's see what Microsoft says. Public role in SQL is just to connect SQL server only. Okay, yeah, this is the role only. Cannot be revoked, na, basically we cannot modify that one basically from end user end. See, this is totally Microsoft hard coded back. Means it is saying that simple the user can connect the server if you get any logins that will able to connect the server but not perform any activity except master databases because by default it's connected to the master databases. If we are going to change this one, we can just do like we have just can set it on model databases. I think after that, this is trial and error. He will not perform, but let's see. But this database, this file is also existing on that server, na? So it will able to log in, get the data. Master database is basically a public, all the schema inside that user databases and all databases. So we can read that this file from any databases. So this is basically, we can say that a bug, we can say that for the logging security point of view.
It's not a bug. Looks like complete security breach.
Yes, basically, since
एक बार
last 10 to
एक बार create कर दिया किसी ने by mistake. He can read all the sys dot, all the databases what we
yes,
have, everything he can go.
you can monitor that one. Yes, I yeah, see some extended procedure cannot, but yeah, some how that they have created. Na, I don't know. SP hotel, see, it will also executed here, but it should not be. It will, this is limited here
So
basically. See,
what case it could be that why we need, if is there any case like when we need to create any user and under the master database? Not for any normal user, they don't need access to the master database, right? Anyway, it is
yes,
only for the
yes,
admins.
yes,
Then
admin.
it should not allow creating itself when we are, until
No,
we
Here,
have needs.
here it
go
is
to the
detected
go
them.
to the first user. This is the second user, no? First user
Mhm.
where we create granted only DB, na?
DB
And
reader.
DB reader. Go to that
Mhm.
and see whether master is visible.
Yeah, yeah, simply.
Hey, with that
This is
DB
public.
reader, can you run that sys dot command? Can you
Ah,
run
on
insert?
that database, go.
Connect with this
Select.
user. Connected then.
Mhm.
You
Connect to
can.
master here.
See, there is
No,
some restrictions. It is not showing all the sessions. Basically, showing
no.
only his.
You are in the data file, right? At the moment.
Go
Go
in
to the
master.
master.
Mhm.
With this DB reader account, are you able to run any command in the master database? That
Ah,
is the question.
yeah.
Run that
Here the
sys dot.
difference. This one.
Mhm.
Here it will allow. It will allow. See. Mainly he restricted na, that is procedure. See here. Procedure, in procedure you are getting only one row, but for your active session only. Where is SP photo? SP photo. So here
Maybe
is
I think,
restriction only.
maybe Shailesh, I think we, whenever we are creating this, we need to remove that public from there, or we need to assign something else. Is it the
Yes,
case?
yes.
Because you are not changing anything in the server role tab while creating account.
Yeah. Yeah, but that not allowing na. This is not allowing. This is hard coded na. By
Yeah.
default public. See, cannot be revoked. Na. The role assigned to the logins cannot be revoked.
Okay, we can clarify this later.
Yeah.
Let's proceed. And one more
But
thing.
see here, there's
Uh-huh.
difference here. Na. SP
Mhm.
Who2 as a system admin, you can get all the sessions. But the user have not permission on master database now, it will get his session only.
Only. So this session is the current session.
Yes.
So
Not
then
all
it
the
is fine,
sessions.
na?
Yeah. But can
And
read the
you are in
data file.
master database.
Yes, master data.
And can you see the list of data files here?
Only the master database which is selected here.
So this is visible, na?
Yeah. This is basically this is created on master, na, that is by default is getting that on permission to read the data for the master databases, but
No,
cannot
we have
modify.
created on data file database,
Mhm. Mhm.
not on
But
master.
mhm.
Okay. Uh, so what is the case where we need to create the user database users?
No, in SQL Server we have to create logins first, not user directly.
No, not directly. Okay, we created logins, but we haven't
Mhm.
created database user. Yes, yet. So what are the
Mhm.
scenarios where it is required?
Means that is, let's say an example, we have created one logins that is named at user, test user. Okay. We have not provided any access permission to that user. This is totally a fresh user. Okay. So now the test user asking that we have to read some data from so and so databases. So just we have to go to the logins as a system admin, and then right click on the database user, then go to the properties, and then go to the user mapping. Then we can then we when we provide this user na, that user automatically map to the user and created that user backend from the backend side. Let's see an example. We are going to map this user as backup admin. Okay, so we are msdb providing on msdb. Okay, or we can say the security admin, the backup operator. Yeah. So now we can see that in msdb there is no test user. Basically, let me minimize that one or cancel that one first. I can show you. Here is msdb database, there is a security and then a user. So see, there is no user. Okay, now I'm going to map this user. Okay, which is one test user. So properties, and then I'm going to provide the backup operator. Okay, see, by default public it is assigned here. Okay, by default public will take, this is recommended from Microsoft. Now just refresh this one, we will see that user is created here. So this is a login and users mapping in SQL Server. We have to just create logins, and then whenever required, we can just map or demap. So it will work. Any question? Oh,
Not clear with that. Database users. Yeah.
yeah,
Database
database user.
user.
Okay. Yeah.
What is the
So
scenario where we need it?
where is the scenario? Basically, the scenario is that when data, when we required to read a data, no, database, then database user required simply. If you're not providing mapping that user, we will not able to read the data. Let's see, we have an application. Let's see Microsoft Dynamics. So, okay. So Raju want to read the some tables from that Microsoft Dynamics table. So just we have to create a logins, and then we have to map that Raju to the Microsoft Dynamics database and assign read permission, and then he will able to read the data.
So Manu, what I understand what he's saying, you have to create just login and map the DB to the any and map the user to any database. If you are not mapping, it's just a blank user without any access to any DB.
Yes, right.
But
No,
when
but
you are creating a
when he has given DB reader, so in that case he was able to read the entire database
Yes.
without creating the database user.
No, 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 no. We, I'm not creating, just mapping. Creating means just here mapping. Okay. Let's see this one.
for DB reader, he has given access to data file database. For test
Yes.
user, he has not given anywhere, but he has it has created by default under the master DB and given public.
See,
And
yeah, this is a user test user. See, we don't provide any
Okay, so
server
it
roles.
means that you are not if you are not providing the DB role,
mm,
so in that case you need to create a database user and provide the table level privileges there,
Yes.
right?
So that table level we can go for securable. If we provide any table level permission, we have to provide us go to the securable, and then we can provide that access. Let's see an example. We have created a one user databases, and now we are going to map that sorry, this data file, and I am just thinking that this user can read that table only, not other table in databases. Okay. So here I have to just find that object. Now where is the table? Oh, server logins. No, no, no. That user. Something wrong. Executable searching object. Why not searching object here? Database mapping table. Okay. And now in secureable we have to just provide that. Yes. Ta, 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 ta. DB reader, no, which is your test user, sorry. Test user, something not know. Specific objects, then find here. You're not getting table name here. What? We should have connected. Something wrong. Let's
No, but
cancel that one. Cancel
table
that one.
to table will come only once you give some access to that database. No,
No, no,
it
no,
is not
no,
mapped.
no. I'm
I
just
think you
trying to
create
show
a
here.
database user first.
Yeah, no, see here. I'm just trying to show here something like that. If we have blank user, okay, XYZ
Mhm.
blank user, and I am going to provide that user to read a table, sorry, read a table. Okay.
Only one table, है ना? See,
Yes, yes, yes.
what I think here is, है ना? Let me correct me if I'm wrong. At the login
Mm-hmm,
level, we can provide system privileges or roles. But if
mm-hmm,
we want to provide a object read-only privilege, table level privilege, so in that case, we should have a database user.
something I think missing. Let's see. You are right, maybe. Let's
No,
see,
can
go
you
to a
try this with the
database.
DB? Can you try this with the DB reader because that is mapped to data file database? The same
Yeah,
thing what
let
you are
me
searching for, right? For go for the data DB reader
data
account.
file. Yeah, sets user, and now we have a DB reader user. So it had permission, na, basically. Okay.
And here you see
Secureable.
the search
Yeah,
object.
now we can get all the objects like table and views. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
See, because
we
this
are doing
user
something.
is mapped to a database. So
So
in that database, you
Okay.
can further you can give any object. जो
Yeah.
टेस्ट
so
यूजर
Okay.
है
So
just
उसको तो
now.
so you
Mhm.
create a no leave this. You create a
yeah,
database user here.
You're
Huh,
saying that user.
a user here.
See, we cannot create login. We have to just find logins.
नहीं नहीं
No, no.
The
मनोज
way.
यूजर तो to create the user it is as same as creating a login first.
Yes. See, like like that, because it will take from that logins only. See here.
No, no.
If you're not mapping, na.
In
Hmm.
user type, just select the option.
Where's user
अरे
tab? See here.
Uh,
Whatever getting there, that the window account, SQL login account, logging without SQL login account. So user account we can just find here from the domain account. See,
इधर
like
here
that.
only we need to search कि कौन से user के लिए आप दे रहे हो but to
Yes,
create is the
okay,
only
so
option.
that is the answer of that. Na? You
yes,
select the username here and filter out. Now what
yes.
all because we have given the DB reader role,
Hmm.
which so now the DB reader role actually exists in data file database. It
Yes.
exists here with all the permission to all the tables. If we remove this DB reader role from here, then
Hmm.
we will then it will stop at the login level.
Okay. Okay. Let's see that one. But uh,
No,
uh, 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 uh,
let's simplify that.
mhm.
Create a user at database level, either login level, login user only. There was an option.
Yeah, login we get na test user. Test user is
No, no,
Test
login only.
users.
This is
okay,
login only. See here. This is login only. See, there
not
is no
login.
permission.
Go in database,
Which database?
data file database.
Okay.
है ना? Go in
Security.
security, go in
Green.
users,
Hmm.
new user.
Hmm.
Whatever
So we are
way
getting.
you are able to create the user. Either login name it is fine.
There is no way to create basically. We have to just map here.
Select map it here. That is fine.
So we get all the logins which is created on server level here.
So just map the user which we created. Na?
Test user.
Test. The first one
Oh,
was
DB reader.
no DB reader is a role.
DB
We
reader
created.
role plus account both are same.
I'm
Username.
creating the same name basically.
Okay,
DB
you
reader I've
created
created.
same name. That is creating confusion. Okay. Okay,
Okay,
select
let's
this.
modify that user. Let me modify that
Ah,
username
create
first.
a
Okay.
different user there and give only public on data file. Yeah.
No, I cannot modify yet. Let's see. Let's create
Create a new user.
my,
Mm,
yeah. Let's see. This is a user.
mm.
Okay. This is a SQL user, and we are by default this is one, but we are going to check
Make
that
it data
model.
file. Data file.
Okay. That okay. Data file,
Yeah.
and we are not providing any permission to this user. This is totally
Ah,
blank.
this is
Okay.
blank. Now create
Okay.
a database user.
Go to the data. Yes. Go to the database file. Now it's security. Create a user. Let's see. So there's a no way to create, just we have to map
Ah,
that. So
mm,
we have a SQL by default SQL user login. Now we are going to check the logins here, not a user. See here, this is
mm,
grayed out. Okay, we will just
okay.
find that logins here. That's we are going to map that one. And now we have a user is Sales. Okay, this one
Mm.
selected. Okay. Now we have no the default schema is DBO. So let's leave it. Okay. Now
Now
go to
we
the
need to
secret. Mhm.
provide read-only privilege to that particular table.
Yeah, that is secretable. Okay.
Mm.
Now we are going to search here and all objects
सेम थिंग ये
basically.
मनो यहाँ से आके करो या वहां से करो सेम ही चीज है ना वो जो
ना
करना
ना
Yeah,
है।
that
हम
is a
यहाँ पे टेबल रिस्ट्रिक्ट करने जा रहे हैं,
see. So there's a
है ना?
table name. Okay.
हाँ
DB table name, only one table we have
हाँ.
created.
Now give the
And
select
now we
permission.
are going to select permission only. See
हाँ.
here.
Now okay and create one more table in this database.
Username entry. What is this? Sorry. Username S Kumar. Let's see. No,
नहीं
this is
सेम यू
Salas.
टू सॉल्यूशन है।
Salas. Yeah, Salas only. Let's see. Okay. So we have provided Sales as a reader, DB data table reader. Okay, we can
Hmm,
perform any select activity on this data file database. Okay,
hmm.
done.
Now create one more
Now,
table. Now we
now
have
we are
given
going.
table level privileges to that user.
Yes. So let's come to this window. This is one. No,
नॉट विद
no,
द डीबी
no.
रीडर यू हैव टू गो विद द सैलिश।
Yeah, we can modify that one. So this is a data file. Okay, and now it is connected with AC account. So I'm just changing his name one one. Okay, now go. Okay, so as we are going to test that Sales has only read permission on DB table. Okay, now let's connect that user as a SQL login as Sales. Connect the database name, data file, then table name.
It's only
So
DB.
yes, you will
So
not
this
able to
is
see the
object privilege
yes object level privileges.
from database user.
Yes, so he can select only this table only. It will not able to see the the other table also. You cannot able to see here. But that user where is DB reader here? DB reader can read both tables. See, because he has read permission on this database. This database level permission, not an object level permission. That is different. I think much clear than before.
Yeah.
So this is about
So now
login.
the strange thing
Mhm.
is that we cannot create a database user. We only can map it with the login.
Yes, this is a mapping here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
we are mapping here. So we have to just create logins, not an user. If you map that logins, then SQL can create that user and map that user to the database
and
only.
mapping at database user is done only to restrict the access at object level.
Yes, yes,
You know?
yes.
Okay. And even DBA reader, we have only because we have a role or user which exists in database level as well.
Mhm. In SQL, we have a two type of roles: server roles and database roles.
Okay.
And also we can say that object level roles. So there are three type of
Mhm,
privileges. So
mhm.
we have to map based on requirement. Basically, we cannot blindly map an user as a server role or database role.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to the PPT. We have database role. So we can see here. These are server roles. Sysadmin, all privileges. Security admin. So I can like create logins and all, grant access to that. Any logins. Okay. Setup admin can perform upgrade and configure database. Server admin can work as a services like that is service stop and start. Process admin can check the processes and kill that process if required. Disk admin can take work on data files, can move, or we can say that take a file level backups. DB creator that can create a database on the database server. Bulk admin can perform bulk operations on the server level, not a database level. Means that is a server level permission. This is okay. Or public by default a role granted to log into the server to connect that database server. Basically, see here. Okay, this is by default. We have to that is public. Every login says by default role as a public. Okay. Next is database roles. So we have a fixed role like DB owner can perform any operations on the database level. DB security admin can provide access to the database level. Backup operations can perform backup and restore on database level. Access admin can uh, less provision and security admin means that provide access to that means user level we can say that. DDL admin can perform DDL operations activities. DB reader can DB data reader can read the data. Writer can write the data on the database. Deny means we can cannot read or write on database which don't have permissions like that. Okay, so means simply we cannot provide any deny. Basically we just to provide read and write operations and can perform that activities. Okay, by default database role is public to connect the database server. We can customize some roles based on requirement. Basically we can create a schema and we can provide schema level permissions to the database users. So these are database and server level permissions. And yes, okay. Now in sheet we have next is designing and storage of new databases and their database architecture. Or before that we can check that this one reporting purpose. Okay, database sustained by the reporting purpose. So I think we have to install reporting server and configure that. Okay. So I think can we take a 10 minutes break or we can continue?
Yeah, we can take a break.
Okay, let's meet at 10:30. Okay. 10:30
Okay.
or
Okay.
10:25.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Mhm.